In this video, we're breaking down Tadasana, and Tadasana is a very important pose because ultimately every pose in your yoga practice is coming back to Tadasana. So Lindsay's here standing in the middle of her mat, and we'll start with the base of the pose, which is the important place to start for every pose. We want to start with the foundation and work our way up. With the feet side by side, you'll have a little bit of space between the heels. So the heels won't necessarily be connected and touching. There's a tiny bit of space between the heels as the mound of the big toes touch. And then go ahead and lift and spread the toes wide, just as wide as you can, those yogi toes. And then go ahead and set them all the way back down toward the mat. And as you sense into your 2 feet, make sure that you have an even distribution of weight between all 4 corners of your feet. So even though you feel the outer edge of the foot rooting down into the mat, there's a little lift of the inner arches away from the floor and an even distribution of weight between the ball of the foot and the heel of the foot. And then with the shins right above the ankles, what often happens is that people hyperextend their knees. Lindsay's gonna press her legs as straight as she can to show what a hyperextended knee might look like. If that's you, you need to give the knee a tiny micro bend by pressing the very back of the calf gently forward. And with that tiny micro bend in the knees, it's gonna make sure that you're one long line of energy from the base of your hip all the way to your ankle. So if you can hyperextend your knees, if you can go much further back even than Lindsay can, it might even feel like your knees are bent. So that's okay, but you want to make sure that your legs are as straight as they can be without pushing the knees behind the sit bones or past the point of straight. Then as the kneecaps lift, the quadriceps lift and the inner thighs spiral back. As the inner thighs spiral back, it can sometimes start to tilt the pelvis back a little bit. So if you overspin the thighs, Lindsay will show us, she'll stick her bottom back a little bit. If that happens, you need to drag your tailbone down toward the mat, and as your sit bones reach down toward the floor, your low belly lifts. With your arms down by your sides, your fingertips reaching down toward the mat, your mid-back is long. And you're gonna have a natural curve in your spine, and we don't wanna get rid of that. It's okay to have your natural curve. But the front of the sternum draws gently down, the 2 front ribs draw down towards your 2 frontal hips. On the inhale, the center of the heart lifts up, and as the heart lifts up, the shoulders roll softly down the back. And with the sides of the neck long, the gaze is straight ahead at the horizon, the chin parallel to the mat, and the crown of the head reaching toward the sky. And that's Tadasana. Thanks so much.